Right, so I thought I'd do a voiceover in this video, just as a change. Why not? Welcome back to my channel. This particular hybrid blank came all the way over from America, from a guy called Matt at WackeyWorx. That's spelt with a X, works with an X. So he sent this over. He sent a couple out. He sent one to Doug at the pole barn and Jake Thompson as well. They made their own different things with them, and I thought I'd make some slightly different myself as well. So initially I thought, well, I'll do a lidded pot or something like that, and then I thought, well, maybe I'll do two small pots. Looking at Jake's video, he did two small cups for pencils and stuff, and Doug did a lidded pot with his, so I thought, yeah, I'll do something a little bit different, and went with a vase. So the style I've chose is kind of a little potbelly style vase, with a little bit of a difference, as you'll see shortly. Lovely stuff to work with, this this Lumalite. Oh, there we go. Too busy talking to you guys. So what had happened is I tightened it down, and I must have cracked the resin somehow with the amount of force I was tightening it down, and it flew off the lathe. So I put it back in. It was quite true, just had to go over a little bit. Imagine that hitting you in the face. So right, I've took the top off there. Now I'm boring the center out. Now this is a 40mm force and a bit. The problem I've got is quite short, so I can only go to the top of the Jacob's chuck, and then I've got to start hogging it out a little bit so the thickness of the Jacob's chuck can go in there a little bit further. I'm just using carbides for this whole project. Various carbides. I mean, I've got square, round, all that. So as you can see, that Jacob's chuck can go in a little bit further now, and then I've got the square carbide and just get a little bit more out. So this is my inertia sander that the kids bought me for Christmas. Never had one of these before. They're brilliant. Just saves your fingers from getting burnt. Good old Yorkshire grit. If you've not tried this stuff, get yourself a tub. It's not expensive, but it is really good. I love it. Yorkshire grit actually supports my channel, so thanks guys. So this is the interesting bit. So I thought, what can I do to make this a little bit different? I've done loads of barley twist kind of things, and I thought maybe this will look nice with a little bit of a twist on it. So I've got a square, and I'm going in between each of the jaws and marking a line. So I want 8 lines in total across the body of the little vase. So now I'm going level with the jaws themselves. This isn't perfect. I mean, you could get it perfect, but I don't want that. I want it to look like it was handmade and not made with a CNC lathe, which I haven't got a problem with. I've got a CNC, I've got a laser, and there is a lot of skill involved in actually programming something to do on it. This is so simple. If you've not tried this, give it a go. You might surprise yourself. So we want 4 equal spacings. So what I've done is I've gone 4 markings and 3 equal spacings. So they're an inch apart. Here's one of my chickens laid an egg. Telling the whole world that she's a good girl. So there we go, we've got our grid. So next step is to just join the crosses, working your way from one side to the next. It really is easy. There's nothing hard about this at all. Like I say, this hasn't got to be perfect. You want it to look handmade. So this is the last one. So next step is to grab the Dremel. This is a diamond wheel that I've got in here, and all I'm doing is I'm scoring down about 2 to 3 mil. The issue I had here is the wood was a lot harder than the resin itself, so I had to really be careful not to go too far into the resin. This is just a burr just to make those lines a bit thicker, so I'm coming with the sanding drum. Again, the issue I had with the sanding drum was when I'd moved from the resin to the wood, because the resin was softer than the wood, it kept popping the sanding drums off, but that's fine. And it's a case of just going over and over and making the initial lines disappear, the lines that you did with the diamond wheel. It's just sanding to the point where you lose the mark that you've set down, if that makes sense. As you can see, they're not perfect, but I don't care. So this is this is a piece of tent pole with sandpaper glued to it. So I'm going against the way that the drum was sanding, just to get it smoother, and I think I've got something like 320 grit on there or something like that. Can't remember. Every now and again I'll go over and I'll sand it so that the peaks and troughs are nice and smooth. Again, rubbing some Yorkshire grit into it just to take the edge off. Now, I'm not too worried about any slight little scratches that are left behind, because this is going to get a coat of lacquer. The only thing you've got to make sure is if you coat your piece with lacquer or something like that, something you're going to spray on it, make sure you get the residue from any wax that you've put on there off first. I use a bit of methylated spirits or denatured alcohol, otherwise it won't stick. So just cleaning it off now. If you're new to my channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button. If you want to support the channel in some way, you can by hitting the join button. There's a small monthly donation that you can give. That'd help me out a lot. And there you go, there's the lacquer on it. Absolutely beautiful. Matt did a really good job making this blank. It's absolutely perfect and I love it. So yeah, if you haven't checked Matt out over on WackeyWorx, go and give him your support. And there you go, there's the finished vase. The missus loves it. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.